Luugi taking that 3-0 victory over Super Striker, but then going down to Sisqui in quite an anticlimactic Game 5, right? Game 1, 2, 3, 4, all back and forth. Game 5, quite dominant from Sisqui. So Luugi, like you said, kind of coming into this cold. Super Striker just having that hot-blooded back and forth between Tarek, where they were just both throwing out big move after big move. Really want to see, like I said, how that momentum plays into this. So far, though, Luugi finding an opening, not converting. Super Striker's defense looking solid, just avoiding the big hits.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this is going. That's exactly what a lot of this set is going to be. How can Super Striker avoid those critical hits from Luigi? Because you know there's so many of them that could potentially just deal a ton of damage and potentially just take your stock. What a chase with the down air! No hesitation on that, and just erases that stock from Super Striker despite that strong start.
That's such a big deal. We were talking about it. Sonic plays a slower game pace. Now we got Luigi, who's just an explosive mess. And when he does get that explosive combo starter, when he gets that down air, it's gonna be a huge detriment for Sonic. And so Sonic kind of works off of the principle of, I'm gonna play it slower, but it's gonna be solid. And the dynamic at the end of the day is, hey, what wins? Is it the slow and steady, well, ironically, the slow and steady Hedgehog, or the explosive Plumber? And right now, the explosive Plumber is looking quite strong. There into dash attack, racking up some nice damage, and now Sonic already nearing those KO percents. We can see Luugi looking for that nair, maybe setting it up into an up B. And here we can see what I wanted to talk about before the Sisqui set, how Luugi kind of prefers to just kind of like throw out the Zairs, throw out the neutral Bs, play a solid, slow-paced game, kind of see what the opponent does. And if the grab comes, then cool, and if not, we're gonna find some other combo starters. And that's exactly what Luugi is doing right now, mixing it up with the empty landing, with the Zair landings, just constantly finding a slightly different way to play the neutral, which hopefully at a certain point is gonna throw Super Striker off his, basically push him out of his comfort zone. So right now, Super Striker though, finding advantage state, and we can see those big hits again. The forward smash 2 frame, normal got quite a commitment. You definitely want to play your ledge trap a little bit more methodically, wait for your opponent to overcommit, and then get the hard punish. Super Striker definitely going for the hard read though, and Luugi punishing that dearly. And this is the main dynamic between these players, in my opinion, Virum, is that we saw Super Striker in the previous games, likes to go for those big hits, likes to find the big KO moves, and you cannot do that against Luigi. It's just not, it's not done. You have to play the slow and steady game and wait for Luigi to do something bad in disadvantage, like normal get up into your Hypno Smash. And yeah, that's gonna even it up. But if that kind of stuff goes wrong, it could cost you the entire game. It's a very risky game to play.
If there's an area where Super Striker needs to aggressively commit, it's while he has Luigi off stage. Of course, Luigi not having the strongest recovery out there, mainly because of his poor air physics. But he's not, oh no, never mind, still alive thanks to the good DI. But still, will he have an opportunity to force Luigi off stage and get that potential edge guard? Tries to forward smash the landing, but a good interception forward air.
Yeah, and that is, like, if he would have just shielded and, like, grabbed the forward air, he would have pushed Luugi off stage, and that's exactly what you were talking about. That is the moment where he needs to capitalize on the... But did dash attack just kill?
Yes, it did. Luigi dash attack kill. That is not something that you see too often.
Cursed kill screens for sure. Just like that, Luugi going up 1-0 in this game 1, looking to get a repeat of the winner semi. Super Striker, of course, not out of the game just yet. Knows how to make a comeback happen. But yeah, I think it's good that you point out the recovery weakness, because like you said, Luigi very floaty, doesn't have the greatest airspeed. Basically has to use side B to get back to the stage, which is a huge opportunity to punish him. And I want to see Super Striker do that. The nice thing about Sonic is that even if Luigi makes it back horizontally, you still have to deal with the spring vertically. And if the spring sends you further off stage, now your bad airspeed, if you're Luigi, now your bad airspeed is really becoming to be a detriment. And just haven't seen that. And I want to see that. I want to see Super Striker punish a landing, throw him off stage, and get the KO there instead of trying to find these forward smashes in the neutral. I think that would be the biggest improvement that Super Striker could make in but basically in this short amount of time.
Yeah, we saw that happen only in the first stock for that game. It's definitely a situation that he needs to kind of force and condition more, ideally, if he wants to succeed throughout the rest of the set. Of course, alongside that, he's got to make sure that he's avoiding the critical KO moves. He's got to make sure he doesn't get gimped by that down air again. It almost happened a second time in that game one as well. But yeah, it's going to be so crucial with how Super Striker plays not only the offense off stage, but also how he plays defensively as well.
I agree. Let's see if he can do it, if he's up to the task. Game 2, Pokemon Stadium 2, what else did you expect? Forward air coming out from the get-go, catches the landing, nice little combo using the platform as well. And again, that forward smash, it doesn't even lead it to anything, it's just damage at this point, dude. But hey, it's working out for Super Striker, he's in lose finals, I'm not. Now, Luugi got that combo starter, almost fighting the final hit. Nice punish, Super Striker. Getting that down smash, just making sure there's no drift mix-up possible. Going for the landing there. Very rare pressure aerial by Sonic. Sonic not known for his landing aerials, but that neutral air, and to some degree up air, but mostly neutral air, kind of the exception there. So, nice pressure mix-up by Super Striker. See how Luugi deals with it. Tries to set up his own pressure with his air. Was turned around. Now he's playing it slow. The projectiles, playing in mid-range. Very nice. I like this game phase by Luugi.
Quite a similar start to what we saw in game one. You know, Super Striker did start with that early lead, and then Luugi wrenched it away from him. Will that same thing happen again, or will Super Striker be able to actually force Luugi into an edge guard situation? The same thing happened again. Just the stock was taken a little bit differently. This time with the down throw into the up B, but Luugi taking the lead once again.
I want to talk about that grab, man, because it's such a, again, it's a little bit of a unique grab in the sense that it's slower than the average grab, sure, but it's also less laggy than other type of grabs. I think it's even less laggy than normal grabs, right? So it becomes a different dynamic than what you're used to. Normally, the way you play around grabs is mostly by forcing them to commit, and then the risk reward is in your favor. That's the exact opposite of how Luigi grabs work. In the meantime, though, Super Striker did find the KO, so we're back to even stocks. Finds that air dodge, the exact same air dodge read again. Goes to continuous pressure, tries to roll in. Luugi, again, that defensive mid-range, likes that a lot. And now the slower pace game style, tries to get a mix-up. Super Striker disengaging, very wise, finds the time mix-up, pushes the advantage. Pushes the advantage more. Now the 2-frame coming through, not quite it. That is all but a hard read on Wi-Fi. Cannot really react to the positioning, nor the up B. I mean, to be fair, you can never react to the up B, not even offline, but at least in certain situations you can react to the positioning. Take a good guess at the timing. Not in this scenario though, so Super Striker just kind of going for the guess, not finding it. Does continue his advantage state all the way through. And look at this, Luigi now having, or Luugi now having to fight for his life. A rare down B. You don't see him use that often, and now we get 2 in a row. Luugi trying to mix up his opponent. Not working out. Super Striker wisened up to the option after the first time. Said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Again, the hard commit with the grab. And again, the KO with the dash attack. Verum. It just keeps happening.
Keeps happening indeed. The main thing here is that in this corner situation, Luugi's doing a really good job recovering. He's making sure he's ambiguous with the timings and the positionings of the side Bs. Super Striker having a bit of a hard time actually intercepting them. So unless he's able to wise up to that, that's a big spring right there. Almost gets a forward smash, but still super minus on hit is that uncharged green missile, and that is going to take a forward tilt punish to the face.
Excellent play right there by both parties. I like the way Luugi held on to his resources. I like the way that that Super Striker was just ready for even the side B. If that was a misfire, I would have lost my mind. But at the end of the day, we're just back to a neutral situation. How often can this happen? 3 minutes on the clock, so not a lot of risk for the timeout. We're gonna see this being brawled through to the end. Luugi trying to brute force his way in. Super Striker having none of that, going for interception after interception. The neutral B, another neutral B, the side B, and now again pushing his advantage. He's been doing so well. It's just that at the again, the dash grab on the normal getup, it's not happening, Super Striker, and this dash attack punish by Luugi. I want to see that kill again, man. I'm addicted to that kill screen. I think it's so silly.
This has been such a back and forth between these two players this game. Super Striker finally getting a little bit of a lead. Unable to get the back air edge guard right there. Luugi kind of sneaking in that up B.
Yep, barely making it back. And look at the percentages, only 10% separating these two players. Oh, the unfair call out. Super Striker had the right idea, but the hitbox was not on his side. Luugi with a little bit of a greedy roll in, doesn't get punished. And you know Luugi, he's looking for the down throw up B, but with this rage, I don't know if it's still possible.
Well, that time he clanked with the dash attack and was able to punish afterwards. Again, we see Super Striker looking for this forward smash.
Yep, the roll behind. Yeah, we saw the roll behind, fishing for a back throw as well. We can see the grounded movement, possibly looking for a grab just the same. Going back to center, getting punished, dash attack. I might be getting what I'm wishing for, Viren.
He needs to get up into the dash attack again. Punishes the forward tilt on shield with that up smash, and that'll be 2-0 to Luugi so far. Are we going to see another potential double 3-0? Well, another potential 3-0 for Luugi here.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Just a very solid performance. So I think the biggest difference between like Luugi and Tarek is that because Tarek and Super Striker kind of have the same dynamic where they both go for these big hits, like anything can happen. But Luugi plays it cool, calm, collected, generally avoids the big hits, and that means that he's, like, from what I've seen so far, it just looks like he always ekes out the win, right? It's just, it gets close, of course, Super Striker, not a slouch, but in terms of consistency in getting those KOs in a timely manner, Luugi definitely a level above Super Striker. Partially due to his character, of course, Sonic, we mentioned this plenty of times, not the greatest KO power, but also due to some playstyle decisions. So, what would you like to see for Game 3 here from Super Striker, Viren?
Honestly, I'd like to see the battlefield pick. I think it worked out really nicely versus Tarek in that one game, and I think it could work very well versus Luigi. Luigi, obviously, a character who's not all that good at contesting those platforms, but no, he's running it back to PS2 instead.
I can see why. I'm not sure about Luigi's combos extensions on Battlefield, but a bigger stage against a character like Luigi who basically wants to be close enough to you sounds like a good deal to me. Especially a character like Sonic can just kind of like overshoot his side B, be all but safe, and that is where it kind of becomes a similar dynamic as Battlefield, right? Whereas on Battlefield you can use the platforms to become safe. On this stage you use the stage length or width to become safe. So very smart decision by Super Striker in my opinion. Even though might have not worked out last game, it was still a very back and forth game. Now we see the roll behind, spin dash, big damage. As you mentioned before, Sonic, you wouldn't tell by his speed, but he's not lacking for damage. He definitely has all the tools in the world to combo you in no time. Oh, the air dodge gets caught by the down air spike. The call out of a lifetime. Luugi just setting the pace for this game right from the get-go. And this could be that 3-0 that you were talking about, Grim.
Yeah, that was such a superb interception on the jump. Once he snuffed out Super Striker's jump, he completely restricted his options in terms of recovering back to the stage, and then the beautifully timed down air versus the air dodge to just get that KO. And now a wonderful position right here for Luugi until the forward smash comes out and rears its hypnotic face once again. Say that's not for Super Striker.
There's the grab, big combo, but no sweet spot on the down air. It means that it's not that big of a combo. The landing's there, the back got confirmed, but a good punish on the spin dash. Amazing awareness by Luugi. Does get a reversal, but reversals the reversal, and now it's like the Uno reverse, Luugi going back to neutral, sitting pretty on this solid, almost 100% lead.
It's how not a very big combo for Luigi still did 54%.
Yeah, I said not that big of a combo, but Super Striker definitely nearing those KO percents. Up smash could be fatal at these percents, especially if the DI isn't 100% on point. And now Luugi's shield is getting pressured, and it gets capitalized on with the homing attack. And now Luugi off stage, stuck in his stage spike. Can he make it back? I don't think so. He doesn't have a jump, and just like that, Super Striker, Uno reverse, and he is in the lead.
The unfortunate reality of that side B from Luigi, you can get stuck in the wall, particularly if you get it like uncharged. I think often the misfire will evade getting stuck in the wall and kind of just brush past it, but if you do it uncharged close enough, you will get your head stuck. Tries to scout out the double jump far away. Doesn't get hit by the green missile and able to get punished, but not that big forward smash he was looking for.
Yep, and
That's gonna be a big hit.
Yep, bro, and how the tides have turned.
They have now, of course, Super Striker can just play at the pace that he wants, knowing that Luugi is the one that needs to make this comeback. Oh, he gets the misfire and he gets stuck in the wall again and loses his stock again. Shut up, commentator, you don't know what you're talking about. There is the misfire stick, and there is game 3 going to Super Striker.
Excellent performance by Super Striker. Just an amazing job making his way back from that deficit, both, like we said before, both mentally as well as adaptation-wise. Of course, finding a bit of a, I don't want to say a lucky break, but finding the exact opportunity that he needed with that side B getting stuck in the stage and no tech by Luugi. Excellent performance right there. And I mean, of course, you can say, hey, it was exactly what he needed and he was at the right place at the right time, but you still need to push that to a win. Not easy against a character like Luigi. So right now, a 2-1 lead for Luugi, and Luugi has counter pick advantage. And this is where we're probably going to see a smaller stage, or we might just see the run back to Pokemon Stadium 2. Luugi might say, hey, you know what? I lost that game. Was a little bit of a swingy situation. Won't happen again. Let me give this another shot, because I'm familiar with the interactions on this stage. Very reasonable. I know most competitors have been there before where they're like, hey, just run it back. It's not the stage. It's me. Sounds like a bad breakup, but it's competitive Smash. Just about the same. It's tragic and very interesting right here so far in terms of stage picks, because like we said before, or like you said last game, I would have really liked to see Super Striker go back to that Battlefield pick. And now I'm actually wondering, maybe Luugi is the one to go to Battlefield, use those platforms to maybe play a little bit of a slower game pace, whereas a flat stage like something like Final Station, like Town City, like Kalos, like Pokemon Stadium 2 that we saw before is going to allow Super Striker to set the game pace a lot more easily because of how much room he has, right? Whereas a smaller stage like Battlefield kind of forces more interactions. What do you think about that in terms of stage picks?
That's very true. Having to interact for Sonic in particular, having to interact more with Luigi is potentially a scary situation. On the other hand, the smaller stage, you could argue, also offers more opportunity for Sonic to force Luigi off stage, get those kind of ledge trap and edge guarding situations. But we're not going to regular battlefield. We are instead going to the small battlefield.
Yes, the other Pokemon Stadium. Yeah, it makes sense. PS2 too. Exactly. So it makes sense. Luugi enjoying the platform layout, but preferring a little bit of a more cramped stage. This is exactly what you want. So far, Luugi finding the grab. Nice big damage, but not the combo continuation that he was looking for. Only 53%. And now Super Striker in the advantage again. Super Striker is ledge trapped, not the greatest. Does get dash attacked again. It's a pattern, Jordan, where Super Striker has the ledge trap, commits a little bit too hard, and then Luugi dash attacks him. So far, been working out very well for Luugi. Now Super Striker wisened up, just holding onto the center instead of going for the direct ledge trap. A little bit of a deficit, but nothing that Sonic cannot make up. Luugi playing a slow game, fireball, a lot of waiting, and now he has the positional advantage. Just stayed patient, waited for an overcommittal spin dash, jumped over it, and turned the situation around just like that. Very well done by Luugi. Super Striker, of course, using his superior mobility to make sure that his disadvantage is all but over after a single hit. Luugi has to return to that neutral, has to find that fireball to cover himself again.
Yeah, Luugi just really trying to find this critical KO blow. We see him looking for those up smashes a lot more. Of course, Luigi still does have the head intangibility on the up smash, so it will kind of be able to beat out the spin charge if it's coming towards him. But you know, Super Striker being very good with the timing of his moves, evading these up smashes. And again, we're seeing a lot more of these high commitment powerhouse moves coming out from Luigi. He feels very anxious to get this stock, and Not quite sure there's a reason to. Finally gets the grab into the back throw off stage. I think that's like the first. I think that's the first instance we've seen of that back throw KOing this top 8, this top 6 really. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely believe so. So Luugi again finding the move he needs, and again overcommitment by Super Striker almost eats a lot of damage for that. It's like I said, it's a pattern. So far though, Super Striker, no slouch, does not let his opponents regain their composure, finds a single hit, run a forward air. Sonic is there before you know it, almost unreactable. And now Super Striker is looking pretty strong. Look at the way he's maneuvering, using those platforms to kind of drift back even after these failed side Bs. And every single side B is the potential for like 40% damage, and if it doesn't work, it's just a reset to neutral because Luigi isn't fast enough to keep up.
Yeah, very few characters are fast enough to keep up with that spin dash. It is definitely a privilege that Sonic has. That said though, that doesn't mean that he's impossible to fight, as we've seen time and time again. Luugi managing to find these key hits, create these openings, little by little expand his lead. Very even game so far though.
Very even indeed. We see those homing attacks just breaking through projectile after projectile. We saw it against Tarek, we saw it against Sivqui, we saw it against Tarek, and now we see it against Luugi, and Luugi, talking about him, just finding KO after KO from the depths of hell. Just the offstage scramble has the presence of mind to turn it around in the best way possible. And now Super Striker, we know the name of the game, he's looking for that forward smash, he's looking for the back air. There it is, the forward smash to the back air. The grab finally working out, almost getting the follow-up. Luugi barely defending with the side B, but I think that might be the gimp. Yep, there it is. Super Striker just interrupting or intercepting the side B. You do have to be ready with the trigger fingers just in case Luugi gets the misfire and you need to attack the stage. But Super Striker staying aware of that possibility, and very nice just body blocking Luugi's only recovery pattern.
Something that I think is worth pointing out as well is that we're seeing a lot of these forward airs coming out from the edge guards. Those drop zone forward airs, like right there from Super Striker. And early on, they were doing him so many favors. But as this set has been going on, as this game in particular has been going on, it feels like Luugi is working around that option incredibly well. And I feel like if this game is going to close out in one way, it's going to be because of that potential overextension. Like in this kind of ledge trapping situation right here.
Definitely agree with you, Grim. So far though, it's looking to be very cool, calm, and collected. Excuse me. I'm sorry guys, that's the explosion. That is exactly what we were expecting out of Luugi. That grab into the up B. It was the exact percentage range for that to succeed. Very well found by him, and a little bit off on the presence of mind by Super Striker, committing to a risk that could get punished by basically Luugi's best kill confirm in that situation. But at the end of the day, especially after such a long run that Super Striker has been on, it's hard to stay aware of every single possible option. So very well done right there. Luugi finding the exact kill confirm that he needed. So yeah, Viren, what were your impressions of that final game? Because I felt like, especially that final stock, was way different in terms of game pace than basically everything before it.
Yeah, I felt like both players in general were adapting to each other's strategies very well. We saw a lot of those high commitment edge guards coming out from both players. We saw them doing a good job answering each other's recovery attempts and edge guarding attempts as well. But what it really came down to in that late game was how much more Super Striker really wanted to kind of push increasing the pace of the game. And I think that can work in some instances, especially when you're operating at the deficit. But, there was time on the clock. He could have been willing to play that at a slower pace if he needed to. And it was because he overextended just a little bit more. And Luugi was able to kind of anticipate his neutral habits. He was able to find that grab and get the critical KO confirm at that mid percent and end that set.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. It's all about that. It's all about those big moves, right? Like, Luigi as a character, finding a grab, such a big difference between a stock with a grab and a stock without a grab. And the same for Sonic, like such a big difference for a stock with an early KO versus without an early KO. And I think looking at your own character's tools, not just in the context of what you want to get out of it, but also in the context of what your opponent is looking for, that is the critical difference. And that is what we saw in the final interaction of that game, where, like you said, Super Striker was looking to increase the game pace. So he was focused on his own goal. And his goal was, I'm going to have to make a play happen. And Luugi just kind of like answering that with patience, saying, hey, I don't need to find this big move. I can let you overcommit. And then because of that weakness in your game plan, I can find my big moves without having to force them. And that difference between forcing it and not forcing it, that is critical.
Absolutely, absolutely. So once again, we got the replays coming up for that losers finals set. Various crazy moments throughout that game. Of course, it was the first dare right away. That drop zone dare, just getting that KO. Again, the drop zone fair. There's so much exchanges between those edge guards throughout this whole set.
Oh, yes. And the grab after an overcommitment in the ledge trap. And again, oh, that forward slash is such a big move for Super Striker's game plan. And the dash attack. Oh, we didn't get the dash attack animation on the kill screen, but still, the dash attack KO, such a big tool. Down for up, we're going to see a lot of those. And again, the overcommitment on the ledge trap, the dash attack KO. You love to see it, Viram.
You love to see it indeed. Such a goofy move. It's such a move that's been infamous for being just terrible in so many past iterations of Smash. And finally, it's a genuinely solid move in this game, but the stick to the wall, missing the tech as well, unable to make it back. And we see that twice in the set again, stuck to the wall, and that is going to be that game one. Super Striker got a 2-stock in that game as well.
Yep, a very solid comeback. However, that back throw is going to put an end to that. And then that final down throw up be so critical. It's all about the percentages. You know, it's a lot of people look at the game more so by the situations, which I think is, you know, that's a good thing. You gotta think about the situations instead